Okay guys, just showing you my setup here for the multi-spec. I think we finally got it rocking and rolling. As we're flying, we have it powered into our external battery. And the key thing is you either plug the charger directly into the regular AC outlet, or you use the 60 watt. I think the problem we were having with people's before with people's chargers is they were not a 60 watt, they were like an 18 watt like this guy. Those will not be enough to meet the power consumption of the controller as it's doing its multi-spec. It's just a long flying, you know, the distance, the radio connection, there's so much back and forth, and it takes that much longer with a multi-spec as compared to the regular RGB type of mapping. That's what you have to have. And so as that guy's going, we have other batteries cycling in to get charged, and have the laptop here where I'm downloading images each flight. So we're archiving each round separate, so we don't run multiple flights on a single SD card. So we're constantly swapping, so we never run into the problem. Particularly with multi-spec, we'll get a lot of there's a lot of pictures compared to our regular RGB mapping. So best practice is always be swapping out those SD cards as we go. So with this, we can both be maintaining full charge at all times for safety and maximum efficiency on our controller. We're charging batteries, we're offloading data, and all this is happening simultaneously as we're flying. So that's a little bit here. As we're flying in the forest here, we're selecting areas, you can't quite see it. I launch 100 feet or so that way, but this is obviously way too much cover. So I've been launching farther over there where we have much more clearance, and there's no a chance of bopping into trees. Even so, given this canopy, I always manually launch it and land it to make sure that we're not going to have any strange problems with lost GPS lock and then something funky. So that's our setup for multi-spec mapping of vegetation, and it seems to be working pretty well now. So when we're doing our obliques, you'll see that it is going to do a series. So we finished number one. Number one is the, in this case, the light gray, gray steel blue path that's already done. Now we've switched to submission 2, and we're now flying this green, this green pathway. And so it's going to march its way through the various angles. And so that first one we did was nadir, was straight down, and you can see, I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but we're not looking straight down. So we have an angled articulation of the camera for this mapping run, and we'll continue that way through the next, in this case, the next all 5 parts, or this part and the next 3 parts will all be some type of non-nadir angle to the camera. Okay, so now we've just switched to the 3rd flight pattern, and you'll see there's another grid on top of this guy, the green one. Starting task. And now it's changed the angle, perspective, and now it's going to fly with the camera at a different orientation as it's doing the oblique articulation of the camera itself.